Hey everyone, it's forecaster Mike Barletta. Today we're going to be going over a major early December snowstorm possibility for the interior Northeast as well as I-95, Boston, New York City, and Philadelphia. There remains the potential for a lot of snowfall, possibly 1 foot plus in a lot of regions northwest of the major cities. But before we get into it, if you guys could like and subscribe, it takes a lot of time to make these videos, make the graphics, I would really appreciate it. We just surpassed 100 subscribers, so that's awesome. This channel got off the ground really fast, and I really appreciate all your guys' help and support. And if you haven't seen my December outlook for 2019, link will be in the description below as well as in the top right corner of your screen. But other than that, let's get right into it. Now, the first thing I want to get into is the European model 500 millibar basically wind speed, wind energy. You could see here, just east of Chicago, we have a big upper level low at 500 millibars. This is basically going to be the overall driver to our weather and the big storm. Now, out in front, you could see we do have some wind energy out here in northern mid-Atlantic, southern New England. That's going to produce an initial burst of snowfall for a lot of people. Should be a nice heavy band of snow coming through a lot of these areas. Drop a quick couple inches before the main show of the upper level low really gets underway. And this band should pivot through and up New England, weakening as it moves further east. Now, moving forward in time, you see our upper level low has traversed southeast. This is good for areas in this region as it'll allow cold air to be pushed down a little further south and allow for some colder air and more snow in some of these areas. Now, this upper level low will reverse course and start moving back northeast. It's really a question of how far south it gets. The further south it gets, the more snow we could experience in these areas. And moving a little bit more forward in time, you could see this upper level low is now parked under Long Island. Just a little bit of the technical stuff before we get into the fun snow totals and maps and stuff like that. Upper level low is parked over Long Island, and you're definitely snowing all the way back in here with all this energy. You're probably snowing pretty heavy in some of these areas right now. There should be a really heavy band of snow coming through with this upper level low, as it's going to kind of stay parked southeast of Long Island for at least a few hours before it starts to head on northeast. So this is once again the European model. This is precipitation depiction for Sunday morning. So this is early late Sunday morning, early afternoon. You could see a lot of ice in Pennsylvania, western New York. Really nervous about this. You could see 0.25 to zero point 0.5 inches of ice with locally higher totals possible for some areas. Really, ice storms really going to be developing in a lot of these regions, but I don't really cover those areas as much as I do most of southern New England, New York. So you could see some snow is really starting to develop on the front end of this line. And as we move forward in time, you'll see that band moves forward and strengthens. You could see the outer band has pushed out now all the way to Boston, and you're getting really heavy snow developing central New York through Long Island. This should drop a quick couple inches. Areas further north, such as Albany, Lower Hudson Valley, parts of Massachusetts, Connecticut, could see prolonged periods of snow, but really south of this line, like New York City, in and around these areas, are definitely going to change over to rain at some point during the storm once the initial burst of precipitation heads out. Now, moving more forward in time, you see there looks to be a little break in the precipitation back here, but as of right now, really still snowing heavy in a lot of central New York, southern New England. You see a lot of these areas have switched to freezing rain or sleet, and Long Island, New York City, although on the edge, are right now at this point a cold rain, but that will change back to snow eventually. But you could expect some really high totals in the areas that expect to stay all snow through these regions. We'll be getting into my snow map later, but right now just wanted to go over all the models and data. Now you could see our initial storm kind of dying out here. These are the last remnants of it, and now with the upper level low that we talked about before swinging through, you're starting to get more snow development in western regions as compared to before. So if we go to the last slide, you could see there really wasn't any precipitation in this region, but now with the new slide, there is a lot more heavier snow breaking out in these regions, along with the upper level low swinging through. Now, moving to Monday afternoon, you could see much more heavier snow is breaking out across upstate New York, and finally, we're starting to switch over to snow, back to snow in New York City and Long Island and northern New Jersey. Shouldn't be too much, but enough to cause a nuisance or a delay in the afternoon hours of Monday. This is 1, 2 p.m. Monday. Now, Monday afternoon, you could see Still heavy snow breaking out. Now everyone has switched back to all snow. Overall, a big storm, especially for areas in here, in my opinion. Definitely going to stay all snow the whole storm and be in heavy snow for most of the time. Areas further south can expect a few inches, but we'll definitely be going over that in my snowfall map at the end of the video, so make sure to stick around. Now, going over the ensembles, these are the GFS ensembles. Once again, basically just a mesh, a collection of a bunch of models put together and averaged out. You could see they're really prominent on giving areas within this circle a lot of snow, 8 to 10 inches. Definitely possible within this circle per the GFS models. Now, I think they're a little too far north. I would probably cut off this northern edge of 8 to 12 inches. I think this is going to stay more 5 to 8 inches possible. But if we do see some more northerly shifts in guidance, I definitely think uh, 8 to 12 is possible, but as of right now, I would cut off that northern edge. But within these areas, definitely a good shot to see some very heavy snowfall for a very long duration period. You know, it stops snowing Thursday afternoon. So this goes from Sunday afternoon to Thursday afternoon. That's, 2.5 to 3 days. Now, moving on to the European ensembles, you could see it's a little bit different. The southern edge has moved a little more south, and the northern edge has moved a little more south as well. This is the 8 to 10 inch line for the European ensembles, or 8 to 12 inch line for the European ensembles. And let's compare that to the GFS, GFS and European, GFS, European. So you can see the European is a little bit further south, definitely more in line with my current thoughts. Alright, now for my snow map. This is the chances for 6 inches plus. I made this yesterday night, so not with the most updated data, but I still think it really holds true for a lot of areas. Let's switch to a different color here. So starting out, these areas just north of Buffalo, a little north of Philly, into New York, Long Island. I think they're in a low chance for 6+ inches. There's definitely a possibility, especially if that upper level low parks around here and you get some heavy snow developing in these areas. I could definitely see the possibility for 6 inches in New York City. I don't think it's too likely, but I definitely think it's possible. But these areas can generally expect a slushy few inches if that upper level low is parked a little further north. Then these areas will really get into the game a little bit more so. But I really think these blue areas have a chance, but overall not too big. We're going to need to see some moderate shifts in guidance further south over the next few days, which is definitely possible, but not likely in my opinion. Now, getting into the moderate area, I think this could be shifted a little bit further south, maybe just north of New York City for a moderate chance of 6 inches, and everything could maybe be extended a little bit further west. Once again, nothing too crazy, but overall I like the map I have right now, so didn't feel the need to change it. Just some minor things that I would like to point out. So areas here include Syracuse, Scranton, Hartford, Boston. I would say that you're on the cusp of 6. But these areas really need to monitor trends, monitor which way models are currently pointing, because they definitely have a chance to get 6 inches or maybe even more, especially in northern areas. I think this high line could be extended a little more this way for parts of northern Connecticut, lower Hudson Valley, eastern Massachusetts. Now, for the high areas, I have most of the central Hudson Valley through northern Connecticut. I would extend this a little further out up into Boston. The chance for 6 inches in Maine is kind of dying out a little bit, so maybe I'd cut this off around here and say that this is a really good 6 inch line. Once again, I think this could be extended a little further to the northwest and north as compared to some of the models showing a little push north over the past couple of hours. But once again, overall, I like the map that I have. Didn't really feel the need to change it. A real snowfall map will be coming out in the next day or so. Maybe I'll even have one tonight. It'll be posted on my Twitter at MikeBWeather. Overall, that's pretty much the forecast. Definitely monitor trends. And if you haven't followed me on Twitter yet, that's where I do most of my model analysis and stuff. It'll be at MikeBWeather. That's where I post a lot. The latest updates. I can only post on YouTube so much, but I post on Twitter all the time. So make sure that you guys go follow me there. Overall, I hope all the snow lovers get snow. This really looks to be the first big storm of the season, with even I-95 cities cashing in with at least a few inches. If you guys enjoyed the forecast, make sure to like and subscribe. It'll really help me out. As I stated before, we just passed 100 subscribers, so that's awesome. But other than that, you guys have an awesome day. I'll be back soon with some more content for you.